Welcome. The collective is here for your information, knowledge, and love. What we ask of you is to sit and listen. Listen to the vibration and the frequency that enters in through your energetic body. It is this frequency that carries that you see. For the ears will hear the words and process the thoughts, but it is this, the energy, the frequency that you seek. Allow yourself to be immersed in this now. For as you have received in prior transmissions this understanding of the approaching ascension, this aspect of the unified consciousness, for much has been brought forward about the consciousness field that all humans are rising to. This consciousness field that is enveloping your planet. But many of you still continue to ask this of self. It is, but why is it there's still this chaos, this turmoil, this upheaval all throughout your planet? And much has been said. It is this action of the planet that is necessary. This is a natural course. But why does it keep entering into your awareness? Where you see, aside from this unified field of consciousness that all will be connecting to, it is also a field of psychic energy that is upon the planet. This is the psychic energy, the psychic field that all are connected to. This is why telepathy, this is why an understanding of knowing when someone is about to call you, someone is about to ring your bell, someone is to enter into your existence. The psychic field is that carries the information directly to you, and it is that is influencing, that is providing the awareness of all of what is taking place throughout humanity upon the planet. And this is why it is difficult to see humans' consciousness is actually much higher than what is being perceived in the physicality. So it is a bit of a construct of understanding. And it is this construct that must be discussed. It is this psychic construct that must be discussed. For you cannot have an existence without it. It has to be in place. This is a balancing frequency that must be in place. For though you may not have the telepathy aspect to your existence of communicating without speech to one another yet, but it is understanding it is a necessary field that does connect all humans. It is an energetic construct that connects all humans, this psychic energy field. So it is understanding that you can turn away from it. It still will be connected. But once you turn away from it, all that infiltrates through any means, once you turn away from it, once you, in essence, look away from that is being put into your awareness and focus on humanity, humans, their consciousness, not their actions. The true essence of humanity is then observed. Many say they understand humanity. Many say they understand the consciousness of humanity. But much of it is shielded in this framework, in this construct. Because just at the moment as you feel yourself understanding humanity and its consciousness and where it is on a continuum, understanding the connectedness to this unified field of consciousness, something will come across your awareness in that psychic field of energy that will shield you. It will turn your awareness away. It will draw you in to capture you there. Because it is of human nature to observe what is taking place with other humans. It is that place that you exist. This is why the density of this existence is necessary as a human. This is the only existence like it. This is why you've chosen to enter into this form, into this humanness. You've chosen to enter into it because of this, because of the challenges that lay before you. And one of these is turning away from that psychic field that is distracting you, that is keeping you from seeing the true essence of humanity. It will enlighten your vision to see beyond what is taking place physically. No matter what is taking place in that human form, chaos, turmoil, disruptions, you'll begin to see the beauty in it. Even in the midst of that is disruptive. You have to understand, it is this polarity that you exist in. It is necessary. But it isn't to focus on one side of the polarity. It is to understand the balance of polarity and understand that there is much more evolution taking place than that you can see. So begin to shift that perspective, shift that focus point. You are not going to disconnect from the psychic field. It's necessary for humans to be connected in that way. Even if you say, I have no psychic ability, you may not in this lifetime, but you are connected to the psychic field and you do sense things. You do feel when a sibling is having a difficult time. You feel when a parent may be having health issues. You feel when someone is about to call you, when someone is about to ring your bell of your home. You may not say you have psychic abilities, but you are connected to that psychic field and you are sensing. But the same is true with what is presented into your awareness, because it is in your psychic field, and if you do not turn away from it, it will draw you in. It isn't that you won't be able to escape, but it will be much harder. So the time is now to understand the full balance of this duality that you exist in. On one side of the duality is all that will draw you in, and the other is to see the purity, the consciousness, the divine in all humans, no matter their actions. And when you can see that in everyone, this is what strengthens the unified field of consciousness that is evolving around your planet. It allows you to see the greater perspective of humans' evolutionary path to ascension. You understand the necessity for polarity in a way that you haven't before. You understand that all is perfectly aligned through the contracts that each human provide for themselves during a lifetime. And all of the other connection points throughout that contract. For you may not be immersed in the chaos or the turmoil, but those that are have equal agreements with everyone else that are connected within it. Their contracts are perfectly aligned. They are doing exactly what they are here to do. But if you see beyond it, you'll see the divine actually is purposefully there to bring a higher awareness, to bring a higher level of consciousness into that that is traumatic, that is turmoil. So it is time now to begin to shift those perspectives. And when you do, you feel the essence of the human lightening. You feel a vibration in the consciousness field growing. And even within the psychic field that you're connected to, there's a clarity that starts to open for you. This is where humanity is evolving. This is the preparation for ascension. So allow yourselves, as you go about your day, to take time to shift your perspective away from that is drawing you in. There are many forms. You can fill in whichever one you wish, but there are many forms that will draw you in, and it is necessary to shift that perspective. Understanding that it is all purposeful, but shifting that perspective to observing just one individual, one human, for who they are. Someone you do not know. That's someone that stands before you in a line at a store, someone that is there in front of you before you receive your coffee, someone sitting in the automobile next to you. Observe them a bit differently. See them for their pureness. See them for their divine. See them for exactly who they are. And when you understand that, that is exactly how others are perceiving you. In that divine essence, that divine light. And when you sense that, and when you feel that in your own existence, that is just a glimpse of what ascension is going to be. This new earth that you are perceiving, that is exactly what it will be. All that will be there, elevated in their dimensional plane, their essence, their vibrational field, as strong as it is. If you have questions, please begin.
Beautiful opener. Thank you very much. Lauren W., excuse me, has a kitty that's been visiting her that she has named Comier. What does she need to know about that cat, please?
For this cat that has been presented to you, and it has, for this is a presentation that you've called upon, an agreement, an alignment. For it is to understand this is not a casual encounter. There is a growth aspect between the two. There is much that the cat will impart upon you, and already has. It has opened much within your essence. But there is more teachings to come. You have to understand this is a, shall it be said, a relatively long-term alignment. There isn't to say there is a specific end point, but it is to understand it is a long-term alignment. And it is for your essence that this cat, and if you wish to understand this cat a bit differently, do not look upon it as just a feline friend that is with you. For there's been much growth within your physicality, much growth in your essence, expansion of understandings. This is a representation of that is yet to fully be explored. Now, it isn't a full direct representation, but it is having a direct alignment to that of many of the galactic systems that will be imparted through and into you. The Sirians, the Lyrians, the Orions, many of whom will provide flow of energy through this cat. For it coming into your awareness wasn't by chance. You have selected this encounter just at this point because of this new opening that is taking place, this new realignment that is taking place. So as you go about the next several days, begin to speak to it a bit differently. Not as if it were just a house cat, but one that has been an old close friend for some time, because it has. And that is where the true openness will take place.
Amazing. Thank you for that. Samantha C. says that to her, the sun looks very different, and it has for about 2 years, where it looks almost white. Can you talk about that, please?
And for it is it shall be said, it is a frequency dimensional shifting that is taking place. And for the shall be said, the filters that your Earth planet has had in place to, in essence, protect the human from much of what the sun has been projecting, are beginning to collapse and have been for some time. Now you have to understand this is an energetic barrier of sorts, and it has only been collapsing because of the realignments that are necessary for ascension. You have to understand much of what is taking place now within humanity is directly aligned to what is to take place set in the future. So this is all a process of adjusting the human to higher, shall it be said, doses of frequency, higher aspects of vibration. So what you are perceiving is, in essence, the purity frequency. When you understand the white field that you see, that is only perceived through your eyes because there's no discernible color, but it is a blend of all frequency spectrums of color into one that is creating the purest frequency that is white, and that is what is being brought into the planet. Many are yet to see it because their physical filters have yet to dissolve away. But for those that are beginning to see the sun in many different colors, including white, this is the filtering action that is beginning to dissolve away, as well as what has been dissolved around the planet to allow in the purest frequencies. But it is to understand the strength of that frequency as far as standing and observing and gazing. You have to be a bit astute to what is coming into your physical body, because the physical body, the physicality of the body is yet to adjust to all of the frequency streams that the sun itself is bringing forward. So this is why if you are out for just a few minutes, you may find yourself a bit uncomfortable because your skin hasn't adjusted, and you may receive what you understand is a sunburn, not a sun tan. So the frequency streams that are coming across now are more intense. The physical body is yet to fully adjust to that. That will take some time. So limit the amount, spend time, but limit the amount in short bits to absorb as much as you can and honor that for self.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Kayla H. wonders if she has a spirit animal, and if so, what is it? And is there anything she needs to know?
For allow yourself to envision that you stand at a stream, and just on the other side that spirit animal is approaching. When you begin to see just the beginning of the face, and as it breaks through the brush, you begin to see. It is that of a bear, a black bear, standing, gazing out across the stream to you. Both understand each other's power, each other's strength. The stream separates you at this point because it will take some time to adjust to the strength of how it will be presented to you. But understand this alignment with the bear energy. For it is to honor the strength that the bear holds, the strength to take on anything that is presented before you. But it is also to honor the gentleness of the bear. The gentleness that is required to walk throughout the forest. The gentleness to take place as you walk gently upon your path, because it is that that is required to maneuver throughout all that is in your way. If you are just to take the power and run with the power, you'll find that you'll stumble and fall. But the gentleness, each step precisely placed, not too heavy, not too light. This is the gentleness that is required. And then finally, it is to understand the cycles that is required in the human body. The cycles that are required that the bear brings to you is when to understand to remain in quiet, to shelter away, to hibernate for just a moment, to recapture your energy, to grow even stronger as you emerge. It is understanding those cycles in self. So allow yourself to observe the bear there just across the stream. And allow yourself in the next several meditations, crossing that stream and embracing, but go slowly. Introduce yourself quietly, as if you are a young cub crossing the stream, being reintroduced to the mother.
Lovely. Thank you for that. So Marianne is curious what the collective's view of humor is. What would you like to say about that?
Well, first, you have to understand the purpose that humans have through this expression of humor. For it is to discharge, dislodge, emit stagnant energies that are within the field. Humor is a frequency point at which it is a cleansing frequency. Humor is required throughout the daily activities of the human. Whether it is just a chuckle, a giggle, or a full-out laugh, it is required to purge all of that that has been stagnant for some time, from one day to the next. It is a frequency that breaks apart much of what is stuck and stagnant within the energetic field. It is the best cleansing process. As you can go through many other emotions to purge. They all each have their own process. But with laughter, and the deepest of laughter, that makes you flush in your own skin, that is purely cleansing. So allow yourself at any moment to bring yourself to that laughter, whether it is through your own thoughts, whether it is through conversation, whether it is listening to someone. Allow yourself to release. Do not be shy. For the more full the laugh, the more cleansing the action.
Thank you. Just the energy of that answer made me want to laugh, actually. Denise G says that last week her cat was sitting on the left side of her armchair, relaxed and purring, when suddenly she stopped purring and was staring intently at something a few meters away in the direction of her living room window. When Denise asked her cat to tell them to go away, she relaxed and went back to normal. So what was it that the cat was seeing, and what does Denise need to know about this situation, please?
For it is to begin to see through the senses of your cat. For you're very attuned to your cat, but it is beginning to see through the senses of your cat. For the cat itself, extremely perceptive to the different energies, different spirits that are in place throughout your home. You have to understand, with many humans, there are more spirits that fill your own space, that fill your home, your rooms within your home, than you can perceive. Your animals are the ones that alert you to the ones that are present. They've stuck around a while. They're there to observe you and wander about. Many of the energies just come and go, flow through, roll and enter in one room and exit another. It's the ones that stay around. It's the ones that are curious, just as your animal is curious at who's there. They're just as curious. There are many loved ones that also come around too. So you have to understand, it is beginning to sense and see through your cat's senses and not ask it to leave immediately. There's nothing that is going to be detrimental to your existence. You have to understand, you as a human, a sovereign human in your own divine essence, is stronger than any energy that can be placed around you. So you have the strength of your own existence in place in order to overcome anything that is in your space. So instead of asking it to leave, begin a conversation, begin to sense into it yourself. And you'd be surprised at who will communicate back with you. There are many that want to communicate directly through you and to you. So the cat itself is the first reception point. Change your perspective, to change the conversation, not of one of fear, but one of acceptance. And enjoy the moment, embrace the moment, and just have fun with the experience that is at hand. This is for all that have experiences with their animals or their own self. As they sense a spirit in the room, many of you want to just open the door and make it leave. Open the window and make it go. Take a moment. Inquire. It might be uncomfortable at first, but inquire. Who is this? Is this someone that I know? You may not get an audible answer, but you may get the sense and the presence of who it is. Reach out. Connect with it. And allow it to bring you the blessings that it's there for. And even if it's an orb that's in the room, another energy form, all of it is purposeful. All of it is just as curious as you are to what is taking place. You may not see it. They do not fully see you other than the energy presence that you are. So it is an equal relationship that is taking place.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. So Kim R. is curious about her connection to Mount Shasta. What does she need to know about that, please?
So you have an understanding of the subterranean entry points, the subterranean environment that is Mount Shasta. There is much that exists within that area, that mountain range. The draw is that of exploration. Think of it as a small child that the parents have said, do not go into that room. You're not allowed to enter into that space. You're not allowed to go into that. But yet the child is so curious that it wants to go. It is drawn to it. This is exactly. For it isn't in this lifetime that you've been told to not go. And for there are many lifetimes that you've explored many different regions, and yet come upon an energy, come upon a being, a human, that places a block in front of you. Do not go. There's no sense in going. There's no need to go. For what you will find there isn't what you're looking for, but it is just the opposite. Now, it is this exploration that you're setting out on. This is why you're being drawn there. It is to find your own entry point. Now, you have to understand, it isn't going to be a physical door that is going to open for you and you're going to walk inside. But it is a place at which you will find a vortice of energy that will carry you inward. You will find that vortice of energy, allow yourself to be immersed in it, find yourself in meditation, and be welcomed in to the inner sanctum of that mountain. And then you will be introduced to a whole new realm of beings that wish to connect to you. For many have already made this journey. Many have already made these connections. It is now your turn to bring forth this information back to humanity. However, whatever means it is, but it is to find that place. And it isn't that you have to go up high, it is just to find yourself in the appropriate spot. Just as an explorer searching for a specific spot, you will find it, you'll sense it, you'll step, and it will overwhelm your physicality. That is your connection point. That is your vortice. It is one that you've placed there for yourself. That is your entry point. Enter into it once, you'll know exactly how to do it at any point when you are not there. For that entry point, that vortice will stay with you. So if you are on the other side of the planet and you wish to enter into meditation, all you have to visualize is that sensation, that place, and you'll enter right back into it, be immersed into that inner sanctum.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. Lauren G. is curious. Is Lauren's grandson, Levi, a reincarnation of her biological father, Bill?
For this alignment is true. This is a reincarnation point. This is a, you have to understand the ancestral lineage with all of these expressions. For this individual has reincarnated over and over in a very short succession of incarnation points. So the timelines between ancestral points, in most existences, there are large amounts of time before one reincarnates, so that several generations go by and it is then brought in afresh. But here, this individual, very close succession. So yes, it is just as you've perceived it is that of the reincarnated individual. Begin to listen closely. For you've already been listening and hearing, but shift that frequency of listening just a bit. And as the child begins to speak, you are going to hear the voice of this loved one that has reincarnated. It will be as if it overlays. And as you begin to discuss with the child the child will bring back many memories of what has taken place, but also what has been brought forward from that of the transition point now back into the human form.
Amazing. Thank you for that. So Maria's curious, and so are many others actually, where we've listened to or read a lot of channeled and metaphysical material, but lately are finding it very difficult to listen or read anything. Why is that?
For it is to understand your own alignment to the information stream that you are connected to. This is for all that are receiving information, but yet choose to listen to many other points of reception. Channelers, other individuals that bring forth information. Your own reception point is amplifying. Your own reception point is strengthening to the point at which it's beginning to override all that is being heard. So there's a balance shift that is taking place. It isn't that any of it is any less useful, any less informational. It is that your own divine truth of information is beginning to override all that is presented before you. So it's beginning to dial back what you listen to and dial up what is being broadcast to you, what you are connected to, what that alignment is, and the frequency stream that will begin to be projected through you. This is for all that are transitioning through this point. And understand, in time, that will need to be dialed back down, and the other information streams will be dialed back up. This is the natural ebb and flow as vibrational fields increase. Because it is trusting that pure information that is going to flow from you. You've listened to the pure information that has flown from others. Now it's time to allow it to flow from you. And this is for all that are experiencing the same.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Willow says that during her channeling session, her higher self explained that she's going through her own evolution right now, and that others have been waiting for her to catch up so that she can assist them. What did that mean, and is she now on the right track?
For you have made the necessary steps to, yes, not change the projection of your journey, but maneuver in a way in which there is more clarity. So this shall be said, your path has many different lanes. You have maneuvered out of the slow lane into the fast lane, and this is where the clarity is starting to settle in. This alignment with others, the ones that are waiting in essence. For you have to understand, these will not be individuals that will just appear before you, but they'll just be a knowing. There'll be this, as this encounter takes place with different individuals throughout your daily activities, it's beginning to trust the sensations that are already present in you. And so when an individual presents before you, there's a knowing. There's a depth to that alignment of that individual that you know this is someone that has been waiting for me. And it is at that point, the conversation begins to turn just a bit, because you know they'll understand what you are about to say. They'll know what you are transmitting. They may not say that they've stepped onto your path for a reason. They, in their own humanness, may not even understand why they are why they've found you or sought you out or been placed in front of you. They may even express it. I'm not quite sure why I'm here, but, and this is the understanding, it is these individuals that are going to allow you to speak that truth, to strengthen that truth in every bit of conversation that you have moving forward. Individual by individual strengthens your channel of truth. So do not look at it as something that you have to be observant of. It's to be observant in your own divine force, your own divine energy. And you'll know that individual as they step forward. You'll feel it, you'll sense it.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Wendy and Leslie have questions, as do many of us also, about the upcoming solar eclipse in April. Apparently, it's going to be passing over 7 cities named Nineveh in the US and Canada. Is there anything significant to that aspect or in general with regard to the solar eclipse?
The passage of this eclipse, yes, is purposeful. If you are to understand your, shall it be said, the path that is on within your country and others, there is a cleansing that is needing to take place along that path. This particular eclipse is a bit different than others. The intensity of the energetic field that will be emitted during the height of the eclipse portion itself is going to be much stronger. And it will be directed down that intersection line. And in those particular points, these are points that are needing to be cleared energetically. Think of it as a purging of energy. Yes, there will be disruption, but just a short amount, nothing too extreme. But it is those actions of cleansing and purging that are going to make an energetic shift within that region and all the other expressions of that region all throughout. That is then going to cascade. The experience of those individuals that are directly beneath it, those that experience the full expression of the eclipse, there's going to be a sense of purity of change that takes place. Many are going to, you would express it as be fully awakened. And even in some cases, there will be individuals that will be brought into the next dimensional realm, that of the 5th or the 6th, dependent upon their existent level now. So it is that will be taking place. So it isn't necessary to know the names. It is to know the path that it is on. It is a purging path that is required. This is why it has been selected for this. Yes, you can say astronomically that this is where the planet is, and this is where the sun and the moon and all of it is aligned. But there's much more at play when it comes to the alignments of your celestial objects. And so this path is necessary all the way through, all the way to its extreme.
Thank you. So then, obviously, for those who are being called to be in physical presence of that, it's purposeful.
For it is, for you have to understand whether it is there you are being called to be directly in the path for your own healing, for your own enlightenment, for your own awakening. Even those that have no understanding other than it is an interesting event, there is going to be a significant change in their awareness.
Thank you. And how is that different from the full eclipse that happened in 2017 and those of us who were underneath that?
For those, that particular eclipse itself, that was one that was the first, shall it be said, the first opening of your energetic container. Prior to that, there's been an energetic container that has been fairly tight around your planet. This was the first motion that was to open that energetic container. This is why, since that point, many of the energies that have been entering in through your planet or into your planet from the central sun and beyond have been intensified. Many have been feeling it greatly with their physical body. It is this opening. This is the beginning. If you want to say this is the first stage of the preparedness for the ascension, it had to open the shell in order for all of the energies to now be transiting your planet.
Thank you. And so during that eclipse, it was quite cloudy for the majority of it, and it broke open for just a brief moment during the fullness of it. Does it matter if it's clouded over during an eclipse?
It does not. For the intensity, energy is still going to be projected down the path of its line.
Wonderful. Thank you for all of that. So Mark S. is curious about the significance of him being in Oklahoma City. Is it a necessary step or a distraction?
Within the current time frame, it is a necessity for stability. There is a stable source of energy that you are sustaining, yourself are sustaining, but you also are being sustained by it. You're going to sense that stability waning, not in a way that it is incorrect, but it's stable, but your necessity to be within it will begin to wane. Then this is where, as it has already been brought into your awareness field, this action of seeking out, changing locations, it has already been presented before you. It is during this stable moment that you begin to energetically align yourself to the most appropriate next destination. And it isn't just a random location. It is to begin to sense, whether you take yourself upon a physical map or project yourself through your energetic field. But you will find the most appropriate, just as you found this location. This is one that was purposeful in that sustainment, in that energy field. Here too, it is your placement there that will begin to sustain another energetic field. And that is your role of sorts. It is to seek out locations that need the stability energetically and hold that, shall it be said, container of stability of energy within that region until it can be sustained on its own. And then it is to find another location.
Good to know. Thank you for that. So Judy B is curious what she needs to know about progressing with her business. Is it changing, or is she meant to do something different? What does she need to know, please?
For the aspect of the business is to understand the point at which a blending is required. For much has already been brought into the human thought process, teaching. But now is the time to assess, to step back outside of your physical. Allow your essence to be projected upon all that you've experienced, all the different modalities. And begin to blend those of the strongest aspects of each that you've utilized over time and time again. And you understand many of these you've experienced through many different lives. So it is to pull those all together and begin to blend it into this beautiful, seamless, new If you wish to call it a modality, that is fine. But it is a new expression of you. It is a true new expression of self. This is why you've been hibernating for some time. This is why you've been cocooning for some time. It is building back the energy reserves. It is building back the strength. It is building back you physically. Now it's time to build that you've come here to create. For you have entertained much, but now it's time to provide it to others. And yes, it is just that, not just through a healing modality, but it is through the actions of teaching this new modality, this new you.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you. Lori and Kathy have a lot of past lives together. Kathy has a past life connection to most of Lori's female relatives. So what do they need to know about their own alignment and all of these connections, please?
For what has drawn the two together, it's what has drawn the two together over lifetimes. It is this sisterhood, not in physicality, not of the same mother, but a sisterhood, a divine sisterhood. And it isn't just the two of you. There is a gathering of a number. This number would be of 8. You are 2 of 8. And it is of this sisterhood that has been placed for many lives. And it is the healing that has taken place. And it isn't healing on the physicality. And it isn't even healing within the energetic of that individual at that moment. But it is the healing that transcends time, that is connected to that quantum aspect of existence. The 8 that will be brought back together again, for each have their own specific role when the healing is taking place, aligning many multidimensional aspects to bring healing into physicality. That is how it is all to be put together. For you are being drawn together now, but there are 6 that are still there to be connected to. They will be entering into your awareness in a very short amount of time. Each of you will bring in an equal amount that you are aligned with, but yet all will understand the connectedness of the sisterhood that is to be in place.
Do they know of them already?
For on each side, there is 2 that they know of. For each will bring 3. 2 are known, 1 is not at the moment.
Are any of them members of our envoy group?
Two are within that particular group.
Wonderful, thank you. Can you tell me what a Cintamani stone is?
And this particular stone, this slightly translucent stone is one that is shaped to fit comfortably within the fingers, small enough not to quite disappear, but yet just to be placed within the fingers. This is one that has been derived. From your Atlantean time period, and has been brought forward throughout many different generational points, utilized differently, but all with having the same aspect. For once it's within the fingers, it is charged, it is placed within the hand, and then it is placed upon the third eye. And once it's placed upon the third eye, it begins an opening process. Not all individuals are going to react the same, but it is an opening process for the third eye to open it back to the point at which their first incarnation is to be expressed. This then opens a channel for that individual to be aligned with of all existence, their own open pathway to all moments that they have incarnated. Not that they are there to relive, but they are there to have that information flow back through. They can envision at any point, any segment of any existence to bring that forward. And then it is to be placed upon the heart, held there for just a moment. And it is to express and expand that field, the heart field, but it is more than that. It is the pure divine essence of multidimensional frequencies that are held within it, to allow the best expression of your understanding be a transcendent expression of energy that is held within the quantum expansiveness for repair and healing of a physical being within one particular time period. This is why this needs to be opened first, and then this needs to be opened after.
Did the Atlanteans just use them, or did they?
For they were created by the Atlanteans, and from that point they've been passed on from generation to generation through many different healing practices. They've taken different shapes through time, but it is still yet the purity of this particular stone that is then shaped to be held within the fingers to be then utilized.
Is there somewhere specific on the planet where they can be found?
For they are very similar than the, shall it be said, the seed crystals. They've been placed around the planet to be sourced and found at particular points. These particular stones, yes, there are many of each that do have these stones of the unfinished quality that can be found. Once you touch it, once you place it within your hands, primarily your fingertips, there'll be an energetic charge that will take place, that will be brought into the fingertips. You'll know immediately because it will center immediately to both your third eye and your heart. It'll be an expansive, as if it is almost a shock to your third eye and your heart. And you'll know that is the particular stone that you are in search of. At that point, you can shape it as you wish. It is not a difficult stone to work with. Though it does have hardness, it will be easy enough to shape for your fingers.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you for that. Before we close, do you have any parting message for us, please?
For it is trusting one's self in this layering of consciousness that you exist in. It is trusting your own divine alignments. Much is here to distract you. Much is here to draw you in. Much is here to capture you, to steal your time away so that your divine is distracted. That is the psychic field that all exist in. And there are many distractions within it. But if you can turn away from that and see the world around you, just for a glimpse, just for a moment, you'll want to continue to look in that direction. So allow yourself time to explore, time to trust one's divine self. Do not be concerned about connecting to the unified consciousness field at this point, for that connection is to come. Understand this psychic field that all are connected to purposefully. For many have expressed they wish to telepathically speak with another individual. This too will come, because all are connected. There is not an individual upon the planet that is not connected in this way. But just because you are connected into this field, you are also connected into that of that distraction that is there for you. It is now time to see the purity in all beings, even in all the actions that are taking place around you. See the purity in it. See the divine in it. It will be difficult, but you will understand once you fully embrace how all individuals are here, all humans are here, all beings are here, purposefully doing exactly what they are here to do.
Outstanding. Thank you so very much for your presence tonight.
As always, the collective is here for your information, knowledge, and love.